Hello and welcome back to Assetto Corsa EVO. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Last time out, I tried out two new Alfa Romeos and one older Alfa Romeo in terms of when they have been available in Assetto Corsa EVO, although there were three different generations of Alfa Romeo. In this video, I'm going to be driving this. This is the Maserati GT2, which is the last of the cars that I need to try for the version 0.2 update to Assetto Corsa. This time around, I'm going to drive it in a race. So one of the things that they added or changed, what is that weird texture bug? Added or changed in Assetto Corsa EVO was some difficulties or basic AI for the racing, for racecraft. So I'm going to drive this around for a bit, get used to the vehicle just for 10-15 minutes, and then perhaps try maybe a 10-lap race around. Let's try Donington, for example, which is obviously a racetrack I know well. It would be interesting to see how everything pans out. Is the AI any good? I remember being punted off the road once, pretty harshly when I tried it initially, and I haven't gone back since. Perhaps they are a little bit better now, a little bit more aware. Of course, I'm not expecting it to be Gran Turismo Sophie levels of AI, because that is just very, very ambitious, I would say, and also something that I think Kunos will not be able to achieve, unfortunately, for a very, very long time. That being said, let's find out exactly what it is like, and let's find out what this car is like to drive. Right, to start with, I'm just going to drive this as a little bit of practice. Okay, apparently there's no pit lane. I've been disqualified for speeding. Fine. Drive it for a little bit of practice now. I have not attached my Fanatec GT3 wheel to this, so it is going to be a little bit interesting to drive this with the wheel that I currently have. Turbocharged? Sounds it. So just going to maybe get used to it just for a few moments, see what it is like, and then work from there. I think it is going to be difficult for me to drive this with the wheel that I currently have. But that's okay. You'll notice I'm staying on the left-hand side, and the reason I'm staying on the left-hand side is because I'm using the national layout as opposed to the international layout, or the Grand Prix layout, as it were. Okay, brakes, I can brake later. That much is for certain. Car is not as grippy as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more grippy. Might be the traction control causing me some issues, so I might drop traction control down a couple of steps. There we go. That's traction control to setting 3 now as opposed to 5, which is what it was prior to this. Now still a little understeering. Better rotation though, much better rotation. Good. So this says 6 kilometers. I have no idea why this says 6 kilometers, because I certainly have not done 6 kilometers in this car. I've not even touched this car. This is my very first time I'm driving it. I honestly have no idea what the odometers are reading and for what. Oh, need to be a bit slower through that. I wonder if the delta would work on this. So it says projected 108.98, and that's because it does not at present have a delta because of the cut laps. That was probably as close to the edge as I can get. That's a little over what I should be doing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is a decent car. I can. It is easier to drive than the Maserati MC12 GT1. That is for certain. Definitely easier to drive than that. It feels like a. It feels like a GT3 car. Well, more powerful than a GT3 car, but it does feel similar to a GT3 car. Brakes are definitely very, very strong. I'm getting caught out by them. Just going around smoothly. I'm fairly sure as soon as I take this into a race I'm going to struggle, and that is because I do not have the head tracking or anything, so I'm really, really going to struggle with it. It's projecting me to have a 1.1077 given the speed that I'm currently doing, so that's decent. I'd say that's getting towards the kind of... that's definitely faster than GT3s, I believe. GT3's at the 108 around here. Still on the limit. Far too early on the brakes. I think coming off the throttle there just a little to enable me to get this turning is maybe a little bit better. I still need to get that. I'm surprised, I never used to have issues with that corner. It was this corner I always had the issues with. Which, as you can see, I still do. Getting there, getting faster. This is more like what I would actually do in Assetto Corsa. The way I go around hot lapping and trying to improve my lap times. This is what I used Assetto Corsa for quite often. When the car steps out, it is fairly predictable, I would say. Might need to try and get this a little bit further round to the left-hand side. That was reasonable-ish through that corner. I'm sure GT3 cars around here are about 108. So I'm definitely not very fast. Not very fast at all. Still braking too early. And then because I brake too early, I then roll off the brake, and it isn't where I need. The car is no longer than where I need it to be. That turn-in was all wrong. Right, try to keep it more on this side. No, then I think by the time I get the car over to the left-hand side, this car does not have the ability to dart that quickly. Yes, I think this car does not have the ability to start that quickly. Okay. So I'll have to figure that out. Let me work that corner out, and then we'll go from there. That is better into that corner and reasonable out of that corner. That was all right at best. 5 out of 10. That is more like it. So what I need to do is, once I've got past the previous corner, I need to try and get it braking in a straight line and work from there. That is a little bit better. That should get me into the 106s potentially. It says 108.12. I don't think so. There we go, 106.8. Not sure what the Delta was seeing there. That was not what I thought it would see. Okay, so now I just need to learn the consistency for that. I can take more speed through that. Still not getting the apex where I want it to be. That's okay. I'm starting to pick up more about this car. I had to scrub off more speed than I wanted to there, because, well, I got the lineup wrong, didn't I? Better through the chicane though. That's a 106.4 roughly. Smoother through that corner. I think this might be the first time in a long time that anybody is getting to watch me learn how to race a car from absolutely nothing. I'm fairly sure this is the first time in a long time that has happened. Now I'm overcooking this corner, which is costing me about 2/10 at the moment. And I went too fast into that chicane. That was merely maybe braking half a second later than what I would have done on the previous lap. That was all that was, and it was enough to cause me to lose all that time. That is more like it. That is much, much better. Let's see if I can get the rest of this lap hooked up then, which I think I am. Slightly too slow into that chicane, braking a little bit too early. That's a 105.8 though. That's looking better lap after lap. Definitely looking better lap after lap. potentially if I can get myself slightly further out to the left as I come down the hill, that might be better too. Lost about 1/10.5 there. About 1/10 down. I can probably get that back here. Almost. 1:05.85. Good braking. At this point, I'm sure I'm supposed to be doing a race, but I've decided that hot lapping is more interesting at the moment. I will get to a race after this lap, and then we'll actually see how slow I actually am. Oh, lost all the time there. A 1/10 down again. Nearly 2/10 down this time. I think I need to put my gloves on at this point. Right, I guess that will do for my practice. Should now just see if I can go and set up a race. One more lap. One more lap. Sign of a good title is when you're just like, no, one more lap. It's all right. Let's keep going. That was reasonable. That was also reasonable-ish, but I think I went down one too many gears. Traction Control 3 seems to be working reasonably for me as well, so that is good. And that was better through. That was much better. Okay, so 1:05.7. If I can do 1:07s in the race, that will be reasonable, I think. Let's go ahead and set that up. So, I said I would try. I said I would do a race. However, you'll see I'm back out within a few seconds of what you've seen in time trial mode, in hot lap mode. And the reason for that is I cannot get a decent race in, for two reasons. One, for some reason, Assetto Corsa EVO, just like what it did previously, is hanging. So I might have put a clip of a race in, or I might add a clip of a race showing you the hanging in a few moments. Yes, I might do that. And on top of that, the AI are just, or the computer, the NPCs, no point calling them AI, they're not really, they're artificial, but they are not intelligent. They're just non-playable characters, non-playable racers. What did we used to call them? I'm trying to think, what were they called before AI became a buzzword for all of them? Apart from NPCs, what did we used to call them? Just opponents. That's all they were called. Yes, I think that is all we had called them. So yes, so one, the game seems to hang quite severely, making it pretty difficult to drive. Sometimes, in fact, I think in one of my tests, it decided to hang in a corner, and that effectively scuppered my driving out of that corner. And secondly, the opponents are, even at 100%, which is what I then set them to, are very, very slow. And by very slow, I mean, I was doing, I think I did, the few laps that I did, I had them in the mid 106s or low 106s, so not as fast as what I've just done in the time trial prior to this. Slightly faster than what I've just done now, and they were losing 2.5 to 3 seconds a lap on me. So that is how slow they were, which is not very good. I would say that's not a good sign. Can I lap the entire field in that time? I do not think so, but it would be interesting to see. 10th down. I'm not really even focusing on the race at this point in time because I'm not having to. I probably should because I'm 3/10 down on this lap, but I am 9 seconds up. And immediately gained quite a lot of that back. Now it says 1 lap down. Why does that say 1 lap down? Oh no, 13 seconds. There we go, it's back. Ooh. That is a first. Here we go, bugs. Right, okay. That was interesting. So unfortunately, I'm not able to show you a single race with these Maseratis, as much as it would have been quite nice to see. It is just not. It's just basically me going around, slightly moving roadblocks, and then hot lapping, whilst trying to get around the game freezing and hanging every, I think in 10 minutes I experienced, because I tried for about 10 minutes, I think I experienced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hangs. Yes. Some of them were not too long, so it only hung for a second. That's still a second. And I think the longest one was 8 or 9 seconds. It was just sitting there hanging, and I'm like, well, alright then. So unfortunately, that is not going to happen. So what I'm doing right now is just so that you've got a little bit of a different thing to see. I'm doing a few hot laps, and then we'll go into the replay to do the outro, just so that I can maybe listen to the car from the exterior, from external cameras. That was the word I was looking for. External, not exterior. Also, I'm kind of curious if I can actually get this car into the 1:05s a little bit more consistently. I know drivers always talk about entering what they call their flow state. I'm not sure I'm capable of any state of flow. But there we are. That's a little better. But I am able to sometimes put reasonable corners in, as it's all calculated, not just oh, I'm just doing this, I'm just going with the flow. Not really. I mean, I'm sure when racing drivers say they're in a flow state, and athletes as well, it's all part of, it's being calculated. It's just you are in that moment. You are focused on nothing else but what you are doing. That's the idea of flow state. and whether or not you're able to maintain and stay in that state is the question. There we go. That was a reasonable lap. 106.2. Understeering here, but I can potentially bring it back a little. 0.2 of a second down. 0.1, less than 0.1 of a second down. It's this corner that does catch me out, so I know there is a faster way around that corner than what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find it. There's also a faster way around this corner, I know that. I'm half a second out at the moment. Definitely not in the flow. Although that was relatively decent. Still in the 106s, which is good. I wanted to turn in a little bit sharper than I did. That is more like it. A little bit better. Not by much though. Yes, there is a much faster way around that corner. I just have to figure it out. Similarly for this corner. The grass is not it, or the mud. Is that going to be towards the 105s? Not quite. Still getting closer. Brake too early there. I immediately knew I'd brake too early for that. That was right up to the edge, to the limit. Little bit better. I think what it is I'm not getting on the accelerator fast enough out of some of these corners. That is probably what is causing me my problems. I think that is the issue. .3 of a second up. And that felt like a fairly scruffy lap. That was better around that corner. But again, not on the accelerator fast enough. Wait, I'm supposed to be showing you a replay and then going to an outro. But again, Assetto Corsa has too fast. Once again, Assetto Corsa has done what Assetto Corsa, or QNOS have done what QNOS do best, and that is create fantastic hot lap simulators. Because that is what I used Assetto Corsa for all however many hundreds of hours I put into it. I'd say 90% of that was hot lapping. Just car track combination, see what we've got. And it works really, really well. And I'm still doing it. It's probably the most I've put into a single vehicle in Assetto Corsa thus far. So it does show that this is a good vehicle, in my opinion. It's pretty nice to drive. So they've definitely got that going for them. I lost all 3/10 that I gained at the start of the lap. I immediately lost it just by getting that braking point wrong. But trying to make it up here, up a 10th. Still only up a 10th. Oh well. Okay, at that point I am going to stop. I think it's a good time for me to stop. And let's go ahead and have a look at the replay and then do the outro. There we are. Let's enjoy the car and the noises. Sounds decent. The replay's a little bit juddery, the camera. Well, actually, that one was fairly smooth. Car looks pretty good. Car does look pretty good. Well, as I said, that is where I'm going to end this video. I could have taken a few more inches there. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa EVO. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Any suggestions you might have, and if you have been playing with the single player race mode, have you been having the same difficulties as me as to what I showed on the screen? That's a good corner. If so, please do let me know so I know it is not just me. I'll also have a look online to see if there is anything about that. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media. Why is there a yellow flag flying? As well as links, that's just completely threw me off, as well as links to my social media and Discord server. I remember last time from the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, why the yellow flag flies. It is the last state that it saw the game in live play. So because I had stopped, they saw a yellow flag came out. That yellow flag has now remained. I've just knocked another bollard. That yellow flag has now remained through the replay. There we go. That bridge, they really need to put that bridge back. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Assetto Corsa EVO, probably in a few weeks, I think, once maybe there has been another patch, to try and do some single player racing. If not, maybe I'll find another race car, because this was a pretty good one to drive. I'll see you then.